Intel, where we explore the unknown levels and new entities. 61505, may God bless our ears for the horrors we have seen.
Hi, welcome to this review of level 7425852258. Welcome me, your host, John Hassel. We will go over layout, exit plus entrance, entities, and how to survive. Let's begin. This is a class undetermined level, meaning it has mysterious properties, unknown information, and undocumented entities. This level looks like a fever dream, and it has many forms. However, we don't know any besides one form. That form appears to be a colorful, bright farm. There is also background music that was recorded and put into this video as background music. How fun. However, that is all we know about the layout. So let's move on. Onto exit plus entrance, and we have no idea what it even is. When we sent in an exploration team, they entered in a mysterious way, and they never came back. At least they gave us some information before disappearing. Now, onto the entities, and we have a brief explanation of one. Here's what the team told us. He is a kind, lovely soul. He has many birds and flowers. He has a humble home filled with sleeping bodies of happy children. He fed us some food. Then, that was all they sent, before disappearing. We all have many theories of what the hell happened. Some say they were lured by an unknown entity and killed. Others think they were telling the truth. There are many theories of what could have happened and what the entity is, but we have no way to prove it. Now, to the ways to survive, and we hardly know. We did get insight from the team, but again, it was brief. The flowers are yummy, the water is tasty, the ground is soft. We could go on for hours and hours, yet we don't have that time. From this, we can determine that the flowers are food, and there is water. However, many doubt that, as there isn't enough information. We have been trying to get another team in there, but we can't. Now, this section was supposed to be about the fun things to do, but due to little information, we simply can't make this section. Finally, we are at the outro. Now, I will recap on this level. This level is very mysterious and unknown. There has only been one team of people in this level, and there are many different theories on what this level even is. Well, that concludes this review. Have yourself a great day. Kiss your loved ones. As who knows, you might end up in level 0 with the others. John Hassel out.
Intel, where we explore the unknown levels and new entities. 61505, may God bless our ears for the horrors we have seen.
Hi, welcome to this review of level 5897, or it's also called the level of the truth. We will talk about that later. And welcome me, your host, Sarah Haston. We will go over layout, exit plus entrance, entities, and how to survive. Like how to get food, water, keep your sanity intact, where to sleep, and some fun things to do. Let's begin. On to section 2, I will explain the meaning of the nickname and the overall layout. But first, like always, this is a class 1 level, meaning it is safe, stable, and has a minimal entity count. Onto how this level got its nickname, it is because it is a library, and in this library, you can find many books about the Backrooms itself. You may think that's cool, but don't read them. You will be scarred for life. And this library has many secrets about the front rooms as well. However, we found that they also scar people for life. But away from all that and to the layout, it is a standard library with doors that lead outside, but they are locked. I will keep that part for the third section. There are also darkened rooms with red, blue, green, yellow, and pink lights. And there is a computer room, but we will elaborate on that later. For now, let's move on. Now that we are at the exit plus entrance, we will talk about, well, the exit plus entrance. To enter this level, you must go deep into level the end. Once you are deep enough, you will glitch out and end up in this level. Another way to enter is by going through level 5896, but that is unlikely. So, to the exits, and what I said about the doors leading outside in section 2, well, one of those doors will be unlocked, and you can go outside into level 5899. So, if you want to escape, look out for those unlocked doors. That's about it for the exit plus entrance. Moving on. In this level, there are two entities. I will talk about them in detail. The first one is called the level 5897 Watcher. It is exclusive to this level. You can't find it anywhere else in the Backrooms. This entity is like a god to this level. It controls the power, entities, Wi-Fi, and other major parts of the level. It looks like a normal Russian human, but has many pages of books on it. Specifically page 29 of The Giver, page 23 of And Then There Were None, and page 29 of Wish. This entity also has a carpet texture, and for some reason, it speaks Russian. So you can actually talk to it. Hell, we even did an interview with it. But it's too long to be in here. We will post it as a short video. So on to the second entity. It is called Data. This entity is a spider-human mix. It is also very large. It can take up a whole room. It looks like a mix of pink and purple. And for some reason, it feels like water. However, this entity is very dangerous. It has many rows of teeth and a mouth that could eat a human alive in one gulp. One flaw about this entity is that it has low body strength, so its leg could snap when walking. And another one is that since it's big, it is trapped in a room, and if there isn't food anywhere, it will die. We have found a lot of bodies, and they are actually food, a mix of steak and almond water. Wonder how that would taste? Well, we have the answer. It tastes amazing. It brings you back to a childhood memory, just like that one scene in Ratatouille. Well, that's all we have for the entities. On to section 5. Now, for how to survive, and you could live in this level. Let's begin. You can find food from the dead corpses of the entity Data. And since it is a mix of steak and almond water, you'll be replenished of hunger, thirst, and sanity. There are also many couches, so you can sleep on them. And another fun way to survive is convincing the level 5897 Watcher to let you survive. But you need to speak Russian. Now, to some fun things to do, and there are many. You can read books. You can go to the computer room and play games. And if you're like that, you can tease the entity Data because it can't escape a room. And also, if you speak Russian and find the level 5897 Watcher, you could talk to him. Just know, he is kinda mean sometimes. Finally, we are at the outro. Let's recap. This level is a library that has many books that will scar you. You can enter by glitching in level The End. You can exit by going through doors to the outside world. There are two entities. There are countless ways to survive. There are countless ways to have fun. Well, that about concludes this review. Have yourself a great day. Kiss your loved ones. As who knows, you might end up in level 0 with the others. Sarah Haston out.
Where we explore the unknown levels and new entities. 61505. May God bless our ears for the horrors we have seen.
Hi, welcome to this review of level 5899999, or it is also called Visions of the Future. And welcome me, your host, Will Gen, for this review. We will go over layout, exit plus entrance, entities, how to survive, and some fun things to do. Let's dive in. Now for the layout. This is a class 0 level, meaning it is safe, stable, and devoid of entities. This level also appears to be Earth, but in the year 2030, as our sources tell us. There are many different rooms, but you first start off in a room full of color with a clear entrance out to the ocean. I will explain that more in section 3. But now for the layout. This is a class 0 level, meaning it is safe, stable, and devoid of entities. This level also appears to be Earth, but in the year 2030, as our sources tell us. There are many different rooms, but you first start off in a room full of color with a clear entrance out to the ocean. I will explain that more in section 3. But anyway, there are also many empty buildings. It's like something happened, but we don't know at all. Many theorize that this level is an exact vision of the future, but we can happily tell you that is partly true and not true. Now you may be wondering, how in the hell does that make sense? Well, this level isn't the future, it is the present and future at the same time. Time doesn't move in this level at all, but it is still the future in our world. Just know, there will be people in the future. Humanity isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Well, that about concludes it. The images will explain the rest. Let's head over to section 3. Now to exit plus entrance, it is simple. To properly enter this level, you need to find a glitched futuristic door in level 18. Then you'll be put into that colorful room, as said in section 2. In that colorful room, you need to find a button to drop a boat down. When you exit the room, there's a giant ocean, and it is around at Point Nemo. So you have to ride the boat to land. But for the exit, you have to find a giant rocket ship that will take you into space. Then you'll be put onto Mars. Don't worry, there are spacers. From there, you have to find this giant glass ball and no-clip into it. Then you'll be put into a random level. Just hope it isn't level 5896. Let's move on. For the entities, there are some, but not many. Let's begin. In the ocean, there's a creature called Michael. It's a giant shark, 100 times bigger than the Megalodon. If it senses you, well, you're dead. It will rise up and eat you whole. Better try to get out of the way. Another entity is called the Raining Satellite. When you are at the start, there is a chance for a satellite to fall down and follow you at insane speeds. Around 7.8 kilometers a second, or 17,500 miles per hour. And as expected, it is a normal satellite. You can dive into the water to survive it. But just know, if Michael is near, they are a deadly combo. The third entity is called the Walking Past. It appears to be a knight from the medieval ages. Unlike the others, this entity is docile. You mind your own business, it minds its own. It will only attack you if you attack it. Just know, that's a bad idea. It has a sword and shield, so it can and will cut you up. Our final entity is called Mars. Yes, you heard it here, the whole planet Mars is an entity. It doesn't do much. I mean, it can talk, but the language is unknown. Alienish, people have said. The only thing this entity can do to you is exist. Well, that about concludes it. Let's move on to section 5. Now at section 5, we will talk about how to survive. Specifically, how to get food, water, keep your sanity intact, and where to sleep. Since this level is frozen in its own time, you don't even need to eat, drink, or sleep. Your sanity won't be affected either. Well, let's move on. Now to section 6, it'll be the same as section 5. Short. There's nothing really to do but explore and ride to Mars. Moving on to the end. Well, we are at the end. Let's recap. This level is the future, but the present at the same time. There are also some entities. You have to enter from level 18, and you escape by no-clipping into a glass ball on Mars. This is about it for this level. Have yourself a great day. Kiss your loved ones, as who knows, you might end up in level 0 with the others. Will Gan out.
Where we explore the unknown levels and new entities. 61505. May God bless our ears for the horrors we have seen.
Hi, Welcome to this review of level 6985. And this level is the complete opposite of level 5896. But welcome me, your host, John Hassel, for this review. We will go over layout, exit plus entrance, entities, how to survive, and fun things to do. Let's begin. Now for the layout. This is a class -9 level, meaning it is absolutely perfect, existential bliss, and godlike entities. Basically the safest level in all the backrooms. We still don't talk about level 5896. Now, to the actual appearance, there are colorful, bright rooms and hallways. No one knows where the lights come from, but they are there. It takes on the standard level 1 layout, but due to the low amount of people entering the level, we don't have much photos. That's about all for the appearance. Let's move on to the exit plus entrance. Now, to enter this level, you must survive level 5896. And in level 5896, you will find a pink and white door. If you have in the level, and this level can actually let you escape into the front rooms. We would use this level more often if only the entrance was from another level and not level 5896. Anyway, for the exit, you can find a room filled with flashing colors. Walk in it and bang, you're back in reality. Back into your bed, like it was all a bad dream. If you want to forget your journey through the backrooms, contact us. But if you choose to tell war stories no one will understand, be my guest. Well, that's about it. Let's go on to the entities. Now, there are only 3 entities, and they are all friendly. First, you have an entity called God. It takes the appearance on what you think God looks like. If you don't believe in God, well, this entity simply won't exist. This entity doesn't do much, but reads a book called Life. You can actually read it with him, and it is the story of your whole life, start to end. Another entity is called Human. It's just a normal human. Nothing special about it, just a normal person wandering around. The final entity is called Food. It is the food in the level. The food in the level is an entity, for some reason. Well, let's move on. I will talk about some ways to survive, like how to get food, water, keep your sanity intact, and where to sleep. First, you can find food and almond water everywhere. You don't really need to sleep. The exit is close. And yeah, that was short, eh? Section 6 will be the same. Now for fun things to do. You can eat and explore the level. You can escape from the backrooms itself. Does that sound fun to you? What does? Now we are at the end. Let's recap. This level is safe. The entities are friendly. You can escape the backrooms in this level. There is enough food for years. Well, that's about it for this level. Have yourself a great day. Kiss your loved ones, as who knows, you might end up in level 0 with the others. John Hassel out.